Hello students, welcome once again to Purnang. So from today in 11th class portion we are going to start with complex numbers. So that was the first question which we would have got as post today. So I believe you all would have got the answer. See, it's a very simple direct question using the geometry here. Okay, so see, in the very first question my emphasis will be on the geometry part which we can apply on the Argand plane for complex number. Okay, so first aspect is, what does this give us? Z minus 2 minus iota mod is less than equal to 5. So as I always say that I'll be explaining it from the very basic. So first thing is what does modulus of Z1 minus Z2 represent on the Argand plane? So if Z1 and Z2 are two complex numbers marked as point on the Argand plane, then mod of Z1 minus Z2 is the distance between them on the Argand plane. Of course, for x-axis we have real axis here, and for y-axis we have imaginary axis on the Argand plane. We all know that, isn't that? So first point is whatever we have written here. What is it? Mod of z minus. So can we convert it to mod of z1 minus z2 form? So for that I will write it as mod of z minus common 2 plus iota is less than equal to 5. Okay, now whatever we have within modulus or left hand side, whatever we have on the left hand side of this expression, this represents distance between, so distance between z, a complex number, and maybe an unknown or a variable complex number, and another complex number 2 plus iota which is fixed. Okay, so that's the one thing we need to understand for modulus by definition. Okay, so mod of z1 minus z2 is distance between 2 points z1 and z2 on the Argand plane. So this is distance between z and 2 plus iota, of course, on the Argand plane. Now the second important point is that whenever I have to analyze inequality with the help of like geometry, I just always say to analyze equality on the plane, whether it's xy plane or whether it's your Argand plane. So analyze equality. See, because if we know that the equality represent a particular curve, then for inequality we are left with just two choices: outside the curve, inside the curve, above the curve, below the curve, and that's it. Okay, so now can anyone tell me which curve is it? So again, for that we should know that this is the standard equation of circle on the Argand plane. Mod of z minus z naught is equal to r, and by simple direct definition, okay, why? Definition of modulus and circle. So if this fixed point is z naught, this variable point z moving on the plane such that its distance. Why? Because this mod of z minus z naught represents distance between z, the variable point, and z naught, the fixed point. Okay, so if this distance remains constant, which happens to be the radius in that case, so of course we know that the locus of variable point is a circle for which the fixed point is the center, and that fixed distance or the length is our radius. Okay, so mod of z minus z naught is equal to r, again I am repeating, is a circle with center at z naught and radius as r. Now come to this one. So isn't that a circle, bachcho? So that's a circle with center at 2 plus iota, which is z naught, and radius as 5. So let us draw this circle here. Okay, so 2 plus iota, so 2 comma 1, so this is maybe 2, this is 1, and radius as 5. So somewhere here, let's say that's the circle. Okay, so that represents the circle. Mod of z minus 2 plus iota is equal to 5. Now as I said, whenever we have to analyze inequality, we should analyze equality and get the corresponding curve. So we have the curve. So now what we need? So we need that which region will this inequality represent. So if equality represent the curve, see, less than and greater than, that these are just two possibilities, and with respect to the circle there are just two regions. First region is inside the circle and another region is outside the circle. So of course one inequality will give us one region and another inequality will give us the other region. So which region less than inequality is going to represent? So that is going to represent the region which lie inside the circle. I believe all of you will agree. Why? Because logic is simple. It says that distance of z from the center, which is 2, 1, the distance is less than 5. So of course z should be either inside the circle, then this distance is less than radius, or if it is to be equal, it can be on the circle. Okay, so this is how we analyze inequality geometrically. So for that you should always draw the corresponding curve for equality, and then you can with like very quickly like this you can analyze the inequality. Okay, so that's it. Now what do we need? We need the maximum minimum value of mod of z minus 14 minus 6 iota. So let me write it here. So again, mod of z, I will take minus common, 14 plus 6 iota bachcho. Okay, again what is it? So this is again by the definition of mod of z1 minus z2, distance between z and the fixed complex number 14 plus 6 iota, which is 14 comma 6 on the Argand plane. So if I mark it, so let's say this is somewhere 14 comma 6. Now where is z? So it's a distance. So what we need? We need the maximum minimum value of this expression, and this expression represents distance between z, which lie on the circle or inside the circle, and this point. So if you have to find the maximum distance, see, with respect to the circle, the maximum and minimum lie along the line joining the point and the center of the circle. If you extend it, this will give us the maximum distance point. Okay, and this will give us the minimum distance point bachcho. I think all of you will agree. Okay, so with respect to the circle, if you have to find the maximum minimum distance, it will always be along the line passing through the center of the circle. We call it the normal. Okay, normal to the circle. So now distance between this and this. So distance between these 2 points, the center and this is, so of course using distance formula, 12, 5, 13. So this is 13. Now subtract from 5 from here. So this is 8 and add 5 to it. So this is 18. So that means the maximum value is, so the maximum value is 18 and the minimum value is 8. So see how easily we can solve it without involving any big calculation. We can get the maximum minimum value of this modulus with the help of geometry on the Argand plane bachcho.